Hello and welcome to another episode of the CUFI Weekly, and once again we have to talk about the absolute fiasco we are seeing on our college campuses.
Free Palestine! Watch out! Watch out!
There continue to be students who say that they're protesting Israel and they want peace and they want justice, who are setting up these encampments, essentially taking over college campuses. And so many college campus administrators have sat mute. They seem unable to deal with this situation. We have seen violence. We have seen Jewish students being banned from going to parts of the campus. We've seen journalists being harassed. And what is really interesting, that time after time after time, we see videos of people asking these students, what exactly are you protesting? What exactly are you standing up to? And they can't answer. They respond with buzzwords, genocide, apartheid, etc., etc. There are people who are getting whipped into this hysteria, which has become so common. When people find a cause that they don't understand, they don't even make the effort to understand, but they are easily led and they waste their time and intimidate others in the process. What we're seeing is not a real grassroots movement. Like, let's be real. Are we actually going to say this is what this is? Are we going to take the propaganda that is coming out going, we're actually pro-peace, but you keep being violent? These protests are an affront to America. Why do I say that? Because so many times the American flag has been removed from campuses and the Palestinian flag flown. That to me is abhorrent. How can you here in the United States take our flag down and replace it with the flag of a place that isn't even a country? Sorry, but that's reality. But for an entity which has been responsible for the murder of multiple Americans, including former West Point graduate Taylor Force, who was murdered when he was in Tel Aviv by a Palestinian terrorist who then got a salary from the Palestinian Authority after murdering him. And we're seeing the very spoiled and privileged nature of so many of these protesters. And if you want any sort of moment, if you want anything that encapsulates how out of touch, how selfish, how privileged and self-righteous these students are, it is that. When you have over 100 Israelis being held by Hamas without sunlight, we don't know if they've been fed, we don't know if they're getting their medication, we have no idea what their situation is for over 200 days. And they cannot say anything about that. They cannot demand that the hostages are brought back. They can't condemn Hamas. Rather, they become the cheerleaders for Hamas on college campuses. This is what happens when we allow so much funding to come from entities and countries which are hostile to America. Not just Israel, hostile to America, are hostile to American values, are hostile to the role that America plays in the world. We, of course, must acknowledge those colleges, those administrators who have dealt with this in the right way. Texas A&M have done a great job. They divested from Qatar. They decided that they no longer wanted Qatar's money and everything that came with it. The University of Florida, go Gators, they issued a statement that the University of Florida is not a daycare, and those protesters were trespassing and they were breaking the rules and thus were dealt with. But this soft approach, this allowing students to run amok, to intimidate other students, to push propaganda which serves America's enemies, is dangerous and not okay. We have so many challenges in this country. This isn't just about Israel. This is about the very soul of America and what our future looks like. And that's why I'm grateful that there are so many people working for a better tomorrow. I'm so grateful for CUFI on campus and CUFI High School, which is making sure that we have student leaders, Christian student leaders, who will go on campus, proudly represent what it means to be an American and proudly what it means to be a Christian who stands with Israel. We all have a part to play in this. We all have to ensure that the next generation knows better than what we are seeing right now. This is Kasim Hafeez for the CUFI Weekly. For Zion's sake, do not remain silent.
Thanks for checking out this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe so you get a notification every time a new episode hits. And if you want to check out some of our previous episodes, and we've got some really good ones, click on one of the thumbnails and that will take you right there. And finally, if you want to know more about CUFI and the work we do, go to cufi.org to check out all the resources we have available free to you.